Welcome back to the 31 Days of Horror Movies. So we're going to do things a little different. We're going to do a mass review.
Yes.
Of 4 movies just to get us caught back up because of technical trouble. We've fallen behind.
Yeah, I lost one recording on the computer. I was trying to do something different and just ended up not working out. So I ended up losing the whole review that we did. So we're going to go through those real quick.
So we need to backtrack. So we're backtracking back to day 6.
Correct.
Day 6, Silence of the Lambs.
Correct.
I will let you start.
Okay.
All right.
So FBI trainee, Clarice Starling.
Yes.
We catch up with her at the FBI. She's a young up-and-comer female.
Top of her class.
Which is obviously frowned upon about other males. We're still at that point in life.
Right, right.
So Jack Crawford is her boss and puts her on the lead to go and talk to Dr. Lecter, Hannibal Lecter.
Hannibal the Cannibal.
Probably one of the coolest characters. I would put him almost on the Mount Rushmore, but there's just too many people up there. So, and he only had one movie. Well, he had others. There were the others.
He had others, but it's almost like he did get typecast because he's just played such a good.
Right.
Yeah, psycho.
So, so she gets spearheaded to get a questionnaire to him, and
right.
You know, she's young and she's pretty, and you know, it's kind of scary to see her go into a psycho facility.
Full on lockdown.
She's totally a deer in headlights. Like, this is like way above what she's used to. But so she goes and she visits Hannibal at I think it was the Maryland State Mental Institution. And the lead guy there is Shilton, Dr. Shilton. He's not a doctor. He's not shit. I've ended up finding out he's the warden.
Right. Oh, yeah. He's the warden.
Of this goddamn place. So, yeah. So he's, you know, he's...
But he's also... He has a PhD, doesn't he? He also
I believe
has...
so.
But he's scum.
He's
scum. He tortures Lecter in odd ways.
First day there, he starts sleazing on her, you know, on Clarice, you know, like, you know, do you have a guide? You know, if you have a good guide.
And
he flashes this very nasty
if you have a great guide.
Disgusting smile, and I was just like, fuck this guy. I was instantly like, fuck this guy.
Now, she also, when she was given this task, also saw that they are working on the Buffalo Bill, the serial killer, the Buffalo Bill murders.
Yes, correct.
So,
Bill's already at this point killed 5. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's killed and skinned. Hello, hi baby. Skin the dog. No.
So we're aware, you know. So yeah, keep that in the back of your mind.
Yeah. So she's already realized that, and Lecter already knows about it too. Like he's like kind of like, wow, Crawford just sent one of his lackeys, like one of his learner, like greenhorns, to come and talk to me, like what, almost insulted. And before that, she walks in and she talks to Miggs, our good friend Miggs, who says he can smell her cunt, which Lecter does not like at all. He did not. He took exception to that. Did not like it. And then on the way out,
it was very poor taste for Miggs to have done that, but he really
reacted onto that.
But I was gonna say he has a crazy way of reading people. Yeah, and he basically could tell what kind of soap she used and perfume. Mm-hmm. Basically, just one step away from pull white trash.
Right, and just picked her apart immediately, which is what Crawford already knew that going into it, that she was going to get torn apart. So on the way out, Miggs gives her a little going away present right in the old eye there. That was a good aim too.
It got in the hair.
I literally had a lady's face right here and I still missed. So the fact that Miggs was able to bling, like, it was pretty amazing. Like, that was not, but yeah, in the further. Yes. So Miggs nails her in the eye with the jizz. That's not good. And so now Lecter wants to help, and he gives her a riddle, and she deciphers the riddle, takes her to a storage facility.
Right. Yeah.
She has to break into and jacks it up.
Miss Moffat.
Yep. Rolls under and goes inside and finds the hearse with a mannequin and a head. And just the head hanging out. So it's just, so now that it's really starting to...
Pieces are starting to fall together.
Right, but Lecter already knows, but he's just making her go through the paces and starts doing quid pro quo. Like, you're going to play my game, I'm going to dissect you, and I will give you what you want. And then at one point, Jack Crawford okays this bogus deal.
Right.
Which is a huge risk. It's not sanctioned by anybody. Nobody knows about it. It's just a blank deal. But they're hoping to get him to bite. And he does, a little bit.
Yes.
But then...
Yes. And the questionnaire, now we can say, was total bullshit.
It was a smoke screen. That was... Even Jack Crawford said if I sent you in with an agenda, he would have picked you apart, played games with you, and sent you on your way.
Yeah.
So he was like, I had to send you in there, not knowing, because she was kind of pissed that, like, I'm not in on the know. I should have known that. But they didn't tell her. And during the second conversation, Shilton is listening. When the deal gets dealt down, and Shilton immediately, sleazily comes down and is all like, I called the governor, and she doesn't know anything about that.
Well, first he's a bitchy with Clarice. He says, this is the third time you've come here, and you haven't shared any information with me.
Right.
Third time you've interviewed Lecter.
So he took things into his own hand, put a bug, and so he ended up listening, found out all that bullshit, came right downstairs, threw that out, and was just like, nope, that's not real, but I'll tell you what is real is this deal I got.
Yeah.
So now, Shilton is now in the driver's seat and debunks the bunk deal that was given out. And so now Lecter is going to go see the governor. All
Lecter wants is a place with a window.
Which, by the way, the governor's daughter is the one that got kidnapped by Bill. We kind of greased over that, but if you've seen the movie, you know.
Right.
The whole point of this is to get the governor's daughter back.
Side by side, as she investigates, we do see Buffalo Bill capture his last victim.
They put Clarice in there to try and stop it, but Bill got one more, and that one last one was the senator's daughter. Yeah. And so now there's real fire to go and find this motherfucker. And so now he has this new deal with the shyster who got the deal. And so they meet the governor, and they gives him a little bit of what Bill is, a little bit, which ended up being bullshit, but also fucked with him. Also fucked with her and fucked with...
Even though the name is wrong, I think, but his description...
The description was right, the name was wrong.
Yeah, his profile.
It was to put them in the wrong direction, but he had already put Clarice in the right direction.
Yes,
she just needed to figure it out. Like, everything that Lecter was giving was always blurred, very blurred, cryptic lines that she was going to have to decipher.
It was almost like, will she survive? We don't know.
Every time she gets a little bit from him, it's like diffusing a bomb. She didn't know which one was going to work and what he was actually saying when he was saying it.
This could better her career.
Oh, she graduates. She either flunks out.
Can figure it out.
Yeah, she either flunks out if she doesn't do this, or she's in the FBI. So it's a do or die for her career.
So she starts to figure out that this Buffalo Bill is a tailor, or is going to make a woman's.
Yes, by going to one of the houses, she realizes
bodysuit. That's what I'm trying to say.
This person is trying to sew a bodysuit. And,
yes.
So she figures all that out, calls Jack Crawford. Crawford's already on his way. They think they have it figured out.
He's on his way to the wrong location, to the wrong name.
She's on her way she's following up on a lead, and the lead just happens to be,
like you said, she finds that detail about the sewing because she goes to the victim's house. Right. The first victim murdered, but the third victim found. She goes to the house, and that's where she gets her...
Well, she talked to that one girl, and she
gets her tip to go talk to her friends. And
goes to the house, finds out she slowly figures it out. She sees the death head moth there. Starts putting two to two together.
And profile, white male.
And it was funny how they had
30s.
They had everything timed up. So the bell was ringing at the same time as what the other cops were doing. And so everything, you're just like... So you're like, oh my God, they're going to get him. And then it's just like, no, they're in the wrong house or in the wrong area. And then that's when Crawford realizes, oh shit, Clarice is going... was going to go follow up. And he knew already that they needed to go help her, and that end scene was crazy when they go into the catacombs, as I call it, the place with a well in it, like
the place with the well, the victim.
Yeah, like that was crazy.
And also, I always say the best part of the movie is where we get to see the real Buffalo Bill and all of his glory.
Doing his pee-pee dance. Yeah.
Doing his pee-pee dance. Yeah, we really get the idea that he is sick. He's
a sick fucking puppy. And so, and it was smart because, like, she probably would have, I don't know if she would have died sooner, but the senator's daughter ended up using a trick to get that fucking, like, precious into the well.
Don't you hurt my dog!
You don't know what pain is!
So he shuts the lights off.
The end scene in blacklight in the night vision goggles was fucking crazy. It was totally awesome. It was so well done. I could feel myself breathing heavy the first time I watched it. And yes, I know. We're running over. We set timers for ourselves this time because we would talk too much.
Yeah.
So the night vision thing, totally awesome. Fucking, he's an idiot. He didn't already have his gun cocked. He has to cock it. That gives us the position away. She just turned right around and just empties the whole thing right into him.
Yeah.
Bill's dead on the ground. Senator's daughter is saved. The last scene is Clarice getting her FBI midship light thing, and everyone's happy. Jack Crawford's happy. They have this like weird, I don't know, like they wanted kiss but they don't. It's just a handshake and then that's it.
Yeah.
And then the phone rings and Clarice has got a fucking phone call. It's Cannibal.
It's Lecter.
It's Cannibal. And it's
because we kind of skipped over the big part where he does his murder escape.
If you've seen the movie, you know about this part. I don't have to tell you about the Chris Isaac coming in and fucking... that was awesome. And, so you already knew that. But the end scene was he calls her and he lets her know, I'm not going to come after you. Like, I'm not going to come after you. But he says, I got to go. Don't even bother trying to get a wire on me because I'm going to hang up before that even goes through. You're not going to be able to trace me. Having an old friend for dinner. And then turns around and then there's the...
Classic.
There's the Shilton, Dr. Shilton or Mr. Shilton.
And you hear Clarice as she... Dr. Lecter.
Dr. Lecter.
Dr. Lecter.
Yeah.
Dr. Lecter.
Yeah.
And he's gone.
He's already gone.
He's going to go have some lunch, some dinner.
He's going to go track Mr. Shilton, Frederick Shilton. That's Frederick Shilton. CH, like when he's finally
getting his 5 minutes of 10 minutes of fame.
Yeah, that guy.
Silence of the Lambs. What do we give it?
I gave it a 9 on the first one, but I gave it a 10.
Okay.
It's literally
You gave it a 10. I think I gave it about a 7, 8.
It's the gold standard of horror, like suspense. It had everything. It had all-star acting, all-star directing. There was not a shortcoming. It wasn't too long. It wasn't too short. It just paced it everything just right, and there was nothing else.
Agreed.
Nothing else like it.
Agreed.
So 10 out of 10 for me. And so the next one was Strangers.
Our next movie, day number 7, is Strangers.
The Strangers.
Yes.
I had never seen this. This was my first time seeing it. With Liv Tyler and Magoo.
Speedman.
And Boo. Oh, yeah. Speedman.
Now, this one, I feel like we can get through pretty quick because not a whole lot happens. The synopsis is, this is supposedly based on a real story. The lonely couple out in the cabin or a secluded house, gets attacked by strangers.
which is crazy because
home invasion.
So this was based on a true thing too. So a little snippet that I found from the other movie, Silence of the Lambs, that I forgot to mention. It's based on true events from the director. So the director had actually had something like that happen. So it was kind of crazy. Or with this movie, it's based on true events that happened to him.
Yeah.
So the thing was, he was at his house. Somebody came to his door and was like, "Hey, is so and so here?" Nobody was there. Ended up nine houses got hit for robberies that night. So just goes to show.
Senseless home invasions, senseless killing, murders. I said it reminded me of the Manson murders.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
So we've got this couple. It's Liv Tyler and Speedman. What's his name?
Scott Speedman. Scott Speedman.
And they are coming home from an event, from a wedding.
It's a wedding reception, and I was totally wrong on it. Like, I was like reading the beginning of it very wrong, and I ended up finding out differently. I thought somebody cheated on somebody. Because there was a lot of tension between the two characters, and you could tell they were a couple, but you didn't know I didn't know if they were married or not or whatever.
We soon find out that they're not married.
They're not married, but he proposed. He popped the question, and she obviously said no. So
it was not the answer he wanted, and so we don't get off to a very good, happy start for the couple.
Right, and so he's gone all out. This place is decked out in rose petals everywhere, and there's just everything is reminding him of what he's, the disaster that is this evening. And so
champagne, the ring,
and they're like laying down in other rooms. And then she comes out, but she's in some like nighty dealy. Like she's kind of like, I still want to F, even though like
I'm still going to. I'm gonna have this weekend together. Let's still have the weekend, even though it's not going to be a.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
We're not celebrating an engagement.
Even though, so
he's still in a bad mood. And he's ready to leave. So he goes out on an errand for her. I don't know, to get something to help her sleep, and before he leaves, they get a knock.
Yeah, that was like they were about to bang, and fucking they get a knock, and they stopped. And then it was some girl in the dark.
You see half of her face, half is in the shadow.
He's trying to turn the light on outside, and it's not working for some reason. He's like, what the F? And she's like, is like Tamara here or something? And I was like, no Tamara here. And sure. And like, yeah. It's like this awkward exchange for 2 minutes, and then she said something like, I'll see you soon or something like that, or I'll see you again.
I'll see you later.
And it was just kind of like, whoa, okay. That's weird.
And they were kind of like that. Whoa, that is weird. Notices that the light bulb had been unscrewed.
Yeah, because then he comes over and screws it in, and it works. So that means obviously. Well, anyways, they're not thinking like that, obviously. So.
Or she was like, should we get? Should we give her help? Because she's out here on foot.
Yeah.
Out, in the middle of nowhere, no car, no nothing.
Right. So
it's odd. It left us with a feeling like, well, why would he leave her?
Impending.
Why did he leave her?
That's
what you kept saying. I can't believe he left her.
Even if I'm pissed, even if I'm peed off at somebody, if something like that happens, sorry, I'm gonna get her on bone too.
I'm not leaving
I'm not ditching you. Like, there's something going on here, and I don't want to fucking just leave. You can come with. Why don't you come with me? Why don't we leave together? Hell, let's like get out of here. Like, I don't even want to be in this fucking house anymore. Like, this sucks. But no, so it doesn't work out like that. He leaves. She starts getting fucked with.
And that's when the wild rumpus begins.
She starts getting fucked with hardcore. Like, they're coming back now, and they're scraping on the door, and they're fucking with the wind chimes. And then at one point, like, he's
in there.
You can see one of the masked people is in the house. They've already gotten in. So that's kind of like, whoa, okay.
And we can say
nothing happens, but nothing happens.
But we can say for sure that it's three strangers, masked people.
Yeah, it's at least two that we knew of. And so anyway.
So she is totally freaking out. She's barricaded herself.
She calls homeboy. Yeah, she calls.
They've opened the flue somehow. They've smoked in the house.
Oh yeah, they plugged the flue. Yeah, so there was smoke coming in the house. Smoke alarms going off. She goes to go turn that off. She puts it down. Fucking some other shit happens, and she's like, "Fuck all this." Like, she calls the boyfriend. Is like, "Where the fuck are you? Come back, please." Like, there's some shit going down. And so she keeps getting fucked with a little bit. Like,
things get moved around. Her cell phone is cut and taken, and then reappears, or his phone. Something happened with the phone.
The house phone gets thrown into the fucking fireplace. That
was it. Yeah,
and then the smoke alarm got moved, and then he shows up, and then she's freaking out. Because he shows up right as she's getting heavily fucked with, right?
Yeah.
Like, he just came in and she was like, oh my God. Like,
she had barricaded herself. And he was like, calm down. There is nobody here. Mm-hmm. I will show you. I'm going to walk through the house.
That's right. She was down the hall.
Yeah.
And fucking she barricaded herself. And so he came down and was like, hey.
Yeah.
So
they now together, the two of them are being terrorized. Their car has been vandalized.
Yeah, when he came
they
back,
are like, we're going to get out of here. We're going to get the fuck out.
Yeah, they fucked his car up, and he went into the middle of the street acting like John Wayne, and he's lucky he didn't get taken out then. But before that, so he had called his friend and told him to come pick him up. Well, his friend came out and sees the car in the driveway and is like, oh shit, like the car's all fucked up, what's going on? And all of a sudden something goes through the windshield of his car, and now he's in the shit. So now he comes into the house. Before this, we're just glazing over shit, but we're trying to get through this quickly. He finds a gun, remember, and he's trying to put it together, and she's like, I thought you went hunting, and like, how come you don't know how to put this together? He's like, oh, well, that's just something I say. And it's like, oh, so you're a fucking liar too. So puts the gun together, cocks it, and fucking he's ready to fucking go Rambo. His friend comes into the house, he comes around the corner, blam, fucking shoots him in the eye, fucking he drops to the ground. He killed his own friend. So yeah, she's licking your... We got a slipper liquor here. Slipper liquor.
So he ends up killing his friend by accident.
Yep.
And they attempt to flee. Now the car is vandalized. Now we're back to where the car is vandalized.
There's 4 flats. Like, this ain't going nowhere. But they try to. They back it up a little bit. But then they come up with their own truck. And they got like an F-150 from like the 50s that's made of steel and just runs right into this fucking thing, crashes it, and fucking... They come out of the car and they're running in different directions. Which is like the worst thing you could do. You're just splitting up and fucking...
And she hurts herself, right?
She does. She hurt her leg as she was running. She like twisted her ankle or something.
What's her name in this?
Liv Tyler is...
Claire?
Kristen McKay and James Hoyt. That's the man's name.
So James and Kristen are the two main characters. And so Kristen, they both run. She hurts her leg. He gets... What happens to him? Does he get inside, or he gets knocked out?
I think he got snatched. Yeah, at some point he got snatched up, and fucking she somehow gets back in. She comes back into the house, and it gets kind of fuzzy from there.
No, what they do is they tie him up.
Yeah.
They tie him up, and they do some more psychological torture on him, and the last scene.
Oh, the last scene of them just that was heart-wrenching.
They take off their masks.
Right. It's broad daylight too. You're like, oh, they'll stop talking
about morning,
this.
And by now it's morning.
They think, oh, it's morning, it'll be fine. No, dude, they wanted to end this the way they wanted to end it. So they took the masks off to make sure, well, you've seen us now, so now we have to kill you.
And Kristen's begging, she's begging, you don't have to do this, you don't have to do this.
And they start on him first, and they just start slowly stabbing, and they're taking turns stabbing them. You know, this is obviously something they really like, and
it's basically they're tied up, but they have their final moment together.
Yeah.
Before they start to stab him to death.
While he was gone getting whatever, she put the ring on and couldn't take it off.
Yeah.
And so he saw that, and she said, "I love you.
Yeah.
I'll always love you." And that was it. Blah blah blah.
They both begin. All of the strangers start stabbing.
Yeah. So they're all.
It's brutal.
It's totally brutal. It's slow, and it was really bad. So. The end of it is they die, and terribly. Everybody's dead. There's 3 dead bodies in there now. The last scene is the Jehovah's Witnesses riding up on their bikes, and they have their little pamphlets, and one of the killers gets out, the doll face, as she's called, and she asks for one of the pamphlets. And what did they ask? What are you...
She said, can I have one? And he said, are you a sinner? And she said, sometimes.
Yeah. So,
and as she gets back in, they're driving away. You hear someone say, it'll get easier next time.
It'll get easier. The girl, like the mom or whatever, fucking says it'll get easier next time.
Now the Jehovah Witness boys, they come upon the house. The door's open. They walk in. They see a horrible, bloody, murderous scene. 3 victims, and it appears that our final girl. Kristen, she is not dead. She is still alive.
Yeah, she's still alive.
But she is brutally stabbed.
She's brutally stabbed.
On the verge of death.
Up. Yeah.
And like I said, I can't believe those boys walked into the scene, touched people, touched to see if they were alive, walked through a bloody crime scene. I mean, I would never, number one, I would never walk into somebody's house.
Yeah, but if I saw that,
never.
As soon as I saw
even
blood,
if I called out hello and nobody answered, I would not walk.
Even if I saw blood, I'm running.
Yeah. What did we give this as a score? The Strangers. What are we scoring it?
3 or 4. It wasn't bad. It was good. I mean, it was okay. It was worth a watch. I wasn't like super. It was different. It was different. It was definitely different. It's based on something that could really happen, so that's also kind of fucked up and twisted. Right. It's
a home invasion. It's plausible.
Apparently, in the uncut version, there's 2 extra hours or 2 extra minutes where they show Kristen's phone go off. Like, I guess one of the phones is there and it's going off, and she's about to grab it to pick it up, and it stops ringing, and then one of the masked dude comes in and takes the phone.
Oh, and that would have been
walks out. Like, that was great.
Another terror. You're so close, but you still can't save yourself.
Yeah, somebody was calling too, so whoever it was. So anyway, 3 or 4. I mean, it was good.
I agree.
I wasn't super but I was like,
it's not your typical slasher. It's not your typical horror movie, but it is another, what are we calling it? Psychological horror?
It was
a true story horror?
It was kind of a slasher too, but it was a psychological horror. It didn't really get to the slashing until, later in the movie. So, but it was good. It was, for what it was. It was fun, and it was just different.
Yeah, and you hadn't seen it, so that was the funnest part, is getting to see your reaction to movies that you haven't seen.
Right, exactly.
So. Our next movie, so we're getting caught up now. Yesterday, the day 8, was Carrie, the original Carrie.
Yeah, Carrie.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
They're all gonna laugh at you.
Yeah.
So that's Carrie is Carrie. I mean, it was it's based off a Stephen King novel.
Yeah.
So it's already.
And didn't his wife, Stephen King's wife, didn't she recommend that he name the movie Carrie?
Yeah, I think that was something like that. That was a little side liner note on it. But it's but you feel so bad for this girl. It's just
Carrie White
in high school. I think we've
in
all
high
been
school.
There. Unless you were popular, then awesome for you. But if you were a loser like me and got your puberty early, like I was getting my ass handed to me.
Or puberty really late, like Carrie White. You see her in a woman's locker room, and this is in the time where you showered after PE,
right.
And she gets her Aunt Flo for the first time.
Yeah,
she legit freaks the fuck out. She thinks she's dying. Yeah. And quite frankly, if another female in the ladies' locker room ran up to me with blood on her hand and touched me,
help me,
and touched me, touched my clothes or my face with her bloody hand, I would freak out.
Yeah, I'd be like, get the hell away from me.
Yeah, but the girls are merciless. She's hysterical. They start screaming, plug it up, and they're throwing tampons and pads at her.
Yeah. So,
the PE coach comes in. She has to slap Carrie a couple times, snap out of
this
it.
This is like a different time. Like, it would not fly now.
Yeah. Psh, psh. And the girl, all the girls basically get PE detention.
Right. From the PE.
For being so cruel and sadistic to poor Carrie White.
Right.
Then the most awkward conversation of the PE coach and the principal, as she's trying to explain what these girls have done to Carrie White, and he can't remember her name.
While she's smoking a cigarette, like she was,
in the principal.
Yeah, the fucking PE teacher is smoking a stove. That physical education coach. Anyway, so they're having. She's
awkwardly trying to explain to him how odd it is that an 18-year-old senior has had her period for the first time and did not know what it was.
Right.
And I told Dan, I was like, now you have to think about this, where most girls, TMI, will get it around 12 or 13.
Right.
She's 18, so these are like women who have had their period for years and years.
You're into womanhood,
it's very bizarre how stunted she is. How
developmentally, she was very socially handicapped, and
her mother repressed her so much, this holy
that her own body backwards. So there was just a lot of little things, little picking on things on Carrie, and then the girls
Yeah.
Feeling
and you feel so bad for her.
Yeah.
She goes home and tells her mother, "Why didn't you tell me?" And the mother says,
starts having her...
Sin. You've sinned. I haven't sinned, Mama. It's part of life and you didn't tell me.
Yeah, having her quote scriptures from the Bible and fucking throwing her in a
hella
closet.
Like degrading,
threw her in a closet.
Yeah.
She threw her in a closet.
Pray.
And fucking, yeah, just that's...
Locked her in a closet so she's being... mentally and physically abused.
Right. So the mom is like way fanatical.
To say the least.
Religious.
Yeah.
Christian. So.
She's trying to sell her crazy to the other mothers.
Yeah,
and they're not buying it.
Like, you like Jesus a little too much.
Yeah.
You know? So we like Jesus, but not that much. So yeah, they're... While the girls are having to serve out their punishment, one of the nasty bitches actually refuses to do anything, and she gets slapped. That fucking PE teacher got it in on these kids. Like now,
not only do they have the detention, but they cannot go to prom. Prom is out. Because if you don't show up and serve your time, you do not get to go to prom and play.
So then she not only got slapped, but she also got a prom taken away. So she now mortally hates Carrie White, which she didn't do this, but she's blaming her because of this. So she's setting up this diabolical plan. All the little crony friends put this thing in motion.
These nasty mean girls. This is mean girls to the 10th power. I mean, you think, writing in a burn book is mean and nasty. What they do.
So
essentially.
So they set her up with a date for the prom.
Yeah.
Which was innocent. This was the innocent part of it all. Is the one girl that couldn't go, she was like, "You can go, and why don't you take Carrie White? Carrie White needs this."
Yes.
So that was coming from a good place.
She tells her boyfriend, "I can't go. Please take her. Let her have the time of her life."
Yeah.
She's never, experienced anything like this.
Yeah.
He kind of is like, but then he's like, okay. He's a stand-up guy.
I'll do it.
And he says he'll do it.
However, the other friends see it as an opportunity to further humiliate Carrie.
Yes.
And they come up with a plan where they get a bucket of pig's blood.
They're going to rig the prom.
They put the blood up.
The queen and king.
And then we're going to dump pig's blood on
Who thinks of that shit?
That's fucked up. I mean, that's some backwoods shit. That's not something.
That's Stephen King.
Yeah. So prom night comes, mom's already like, come home at this time, and she's already not okay with any of this.
Yeah.
But, so
she makes her own dress, and her dirty pillows are showing. Her dirty pillows. Of course, the dress would have to be red. And she says, "It's pink, Mama. It's pink."
Right. So.
But she looks beautiful.
She looks gorgeous.
She does.
She's shunned amongst all the other twats that were at this dance. I didn't really. And didn't she though? I mean, she did kind of like stand out. Like her dress was very sheer and nice. It just seemed like nicer than all the other girls.
Yeah. And it was homemade, but she just looked so.
But she rocked it.
Yeah.
And she looked good. I feel like I'm doing
she was having the time of her life. You really could see that she just thought this place was beautiful.
This was too good to be true. She was like, "What are you doing here with me?" Like asking questions like that. Like, why am I here? Like, what am I doing here? What are you doing here with me? Why'd you ask me? And he's just being really like, as he starts to talk to her more, he starts realizing how human she is, and like she's just fucking really shy and has just been fucked with, and this is what we've turned her into.
Yeah.
So he was just like, damn, you're actually a really
alienation
good person.
And being bullied, that's what it can do to people.
Yeah, so she he realizes she's a good person. She's a beautiful person. He really kind of gets into the role of being like her
dance. They dance. He gives her a kiss.
Yeah, and he's just bringing her up, just trying to bring her up.
He's telling her, we're going to go somewhere after this.
Yeah,
I want to take
just for
you
a little
here.
bit. Yeah, I know you got to be home, but I'm going to take you out for a little bit. And it was just kind of like, wow, he's really
generally
good.
wanting to spend the evening with her.
The greatest American heroes being our greatest American hero.
And meanwhile, we've got John Travolta's character and the nasty bitches
And he smacks her a couple times in this too. Do you remember that? Like that shit was just like, oh man, I forgot. This is like the 70s. Like they still lit up ladies back in the day, and that was not frowned upon. But,
right. So they've slaughtered the pig. They've filled the bucket. They're
already under the stairs. They're under the stairs. They have it positioned. The the 2 girls that are involved, the nasty bitch with Travolta, and the one that was always in the baseball cap, who rigged the prom.
She rigged the ballots.
Yep. And they get up on the stage, and you can see, like, the one girl that was the girlfriend of the guy that took Carrie on the date. She's behind stage, and she can see what's going to happen, and she's freaking out. She's like, oh, shit. She tried to go under the stairs to catch them, and then the teacher comes up and pulls her away, the PE coach. And
she comes in because she wants to see how beautiful Carrie looks on stage with her flowers and her crown, and she's saying thank you to everybody, and she's just basking in this moment.
And this person's getting pulled away, and the boyfriend can see it, and he's like, what are you doing here?
Yeah,
like,
the suspense done.
And then it just finally, you saw her lick her lips, and she just pulled that cord, down came the pig's blood.
Right as that girl was getting pushed out of the doors.
To avoid what was going to happen, what was going to ensue from Carrie having the pig's blood dumped on her,
And the famous scene.
The pig's blood came on her. She starts freaking out. The bucket comes down and hits him and knocks him out. That had to hit him somewhere soft on his head. Because he went out like a light.
Yeah.
So he's on the ground, and she is... Was everybody laughing at her, or was...
the girl with the stupid baseball cap.
Was everybody. But
started the belly laugh, and the more she was laughing, more people started laughing.
Yeah, okay. So, because when she was looking out, she was like, everybody was laughing. Even the principal, the other guy, the vice principal, all of them were all laughing at her. And I was like, is she really seeing that, or is now she just in full psychosis? And it doesn't matter. This is what she's seeing.
But she's hearing her mother say, they're all going to laugh at you. They're all going to laugh at you.
And then she starts freaking.
Things just start happening.
Yeah, so
the hose comes off the wall, the electric.
The doors all close at the same time, which would have freaked me the fuck out. The hose comes out, starts hosing people down. It hits the electrical board. It hits the microphone, fries the vice and the principal at the same time.
You see a group of people trying to carry out that dude.
Homeboy. Yeah, that gets stopped. The PE coach she gets crunched. She got fucking her abdomen just absolutely
in the remake. I think Carrie spares the PE coach if you ever watched the remake.
Oh, okay. No, I don't.
Because she actually tried to help her.
She did try
actually
to help. But she's just wrong place, wrong time. So.
Yeah.
So Carrie just
walking off stage. She's walking through the fire.
Stone.
She walks home.
Yep. And
that chick tries to run her over.
Her and John Travolta try to run her over. Carrie turns around and just fucking tweaks the car, rolls, blows up.
Yeah.
They're toast.
Yeah.
So she's still walking back. Gets back home.
Wow. Her mom.
It's like shitstorm part.
Hiding and ready to murder.
To pounce on her.
Like she said, I should have killed you when they put it in me.
Yeah, like it was just that was such a heart-wrenching story. It was like, wow, and my mom hates me. On top of everything.
Then her mom stabs her in the back. Legit stabs her in the back. She falls down the stairs. Mother's coming to kill her, but she uses her powers.
Weep. And she just fucking crucifies her.
With knives from the kitchen.
Just literally looks like the statue.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden the house
the statue of Christ.
And then the house starts collapsing. After that. Like the house totally starts collapsing. And the last thing we see is Carrie dragging her mom into that little prayetorium that they had, the closet.
Yep.
And they just sit in there, and Carrie holds her mom as the house starts to just fall around her, and then the last scene is of her kind of dead. She looked kind of dead. She was like this, and the house gets swallowed up into the earth, and then
I gotta get her out from underneath of me. I'm so sorry, guys.
No. Was she trapped?
No, she's... Okay, does anyone ever have a puppy that tries to eat wood? Like the wood of their chair legs?
That's weird.
Anyway, go ahead, continue.
So yeah,
the survivor.
So there's one survivor, the one girl that got away.
Sorry, guys.
Which was, I guess, good for her, but not really so good because the psychosis it caused from everybody dying at that prom, like nobody made it. So
yeah,
there were teachers that are dead. Her best friends are all dead, and the only reason she's alive was because she got pushed out.
She got kicked out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So just crazy. You can tell that her mother's really concerned about her. She's been resting quietly, and then she has a dream.
A dream where she's walking to Carrie's house, and where it's used to stand, it's just a ditch, and in the ground says, Carrie White, burn in hell.
Burn in hell. And even in death, they're still
fucking hate her.
They can't figure. They can't understand.
Let her go. They can't let her go. It's just like they still gotta fuck with her in the afterlife.
It's terrible.
And so she goes to lay the last jump scare was her trying to put the flowers down. She was bringing flowers for her, and Carrie reaches up out of the rubble and grabs her arm, and then she actually believes her arm's being grabbed. It almost looked like something was grabbing her, which is crazy. So
yeah,
so that was Carrie. That was the last scene.
Yeah,
pulls out, credits roll. It was good. Carrie is like, again, another one of those that's goddamn. Like, how many good movies can you make, Stephen King? Like, how many good movies?
Well, how many good books can you write?
I mean,
so on a scale of 1 to 10.
Carrie probably gets a 7. I will give it a strong 7. Very strong 7. It is, again, one of those movies that's...
you feel so bad for the main character. You're almost happy when she fucking opens up her can of...
But could you imagine, like, watching this for the first time? Like, if you had no idea what was going to happen with her.
Hold it, Arlo.
And and then you just see her at the end just fucking go ape shit like that.
Yeah.
I would have been like, holy shit, that went in a direction I was not planning. I didn't think the whole fucking prom was going to get burned to the ground. Like, wow. So, yeah, great movie. Totally recommend it. If you ain't seen it, boy, get your ass out and see that movie.
Yeah.
That's a good one. So.
The original.
Yes, the original Carrie.
Even though I like the remake of that one, but...
I kind of totally forgot that there was even a remake. That's nuts.
Yeah. You guys like my ears?
Oh, yeah. Can you hear me?
Last and final, tonight's video. We watched House of a Thousand Corpses. Rob Zombie.
His first foray into horror movies. It launched all the other movies, Devil's Rejects,
Three from Hell. Yeah.
So all those movies got started from that. And this was a good first installment if you're going to be, he was primarily just a musician and an artist.
Yeah.
I had always known about his sketchings, like some of his earlier White Zombie stuff. He would put some of his drawings in there, and you can tell. Beavis and Butthead, when Beavis and Butthead Do America, that one scene with the Rob Zombie song, all that cartoon stuff is all his. Mm-hmm. He drew all that. So he's a very talented artist. Didn't know how good he was going to be as a director, but he did great with this.
Yeah.
This was a very good movie. Good actors. Yeah, good actors. Let's take a break for a second, and then we'll come back and, I don't know, give us like 5 minutes.
I just have to do something with my little dog. I have to get her something to busy herself with.
But we'll be back in like
House of a Thousand Corpses. Yes. We're coming right back.
All right. Okay, we're back. She's taking care of what she needs to take care of. Okay, so go ahead. You wanted to talk about...
House of a Thousand Corpses, Rob Zombie. I love this movie, y'all. Yeah. I remember when I saw it for the first time, I was like, this is fucking disgusting.
Did you see it in the theater?
No. Okay. I did not see it in the theater, but I was already like, what the fuck? Yeah. You watch it once, you really have to watch it a couple of times. I did, and then I was like, oh my god, I love this movie.
Yeah, it was really good. Starts one of the main guys, Captain Spaulding. He's a fucking weirdo clown. Sid Haig, I think is rest in peace, Sid Haig. But yeah, he is one of the quintessential characters in this. Kind of steals the show a little bit with his smart ass bullshit. And
in the beginning, until you meet the kids.
He's a very wisecracking motherfucker, and doesn't take no shit. And so the beginning is just a bank rob or a fucking robbery gone wrong. Somebody came into the wrong place at the wrong time, fucking with the wrong person.
Yeah,
got their heads blown off. So that was within the first 10 minutes. So next scene after that, we are introduced to the other protagonists, which is the group of 4 in a car, one of which is Dwight Schrute. The other one is I said it's Chris Hedwick, I think is his name. Chris Hardwick. That's what it is, Chris Hardwick. Yeah, I forgot. So I forgot to pull it up. I have my crib notes over here, and I forgot to pull it up. But Chris Hardwick, who ends
2 females, they go to get gas.
Yeah,
she needs to call her dad because they're doing creepy places around the country or something across the country, and so this is sort of like a freak show, like and
roadside attractions across the country. And so they walk into this place. It's Captain Spaulding's, famous for its fried chicken and whatever else. And so they go inside and they find out about this ride, and they go on the ride. That's done by Captain Spaulding, and starts talking about Ed Gein and
serial killers and shit
Albert
like Finch,
that. And then
Lizzie Borden.
The last one was Dr. Satan. And Dr. Satan, they talk about him, and they come out, and Chris Hardwick says the best line that he's known for is, Dr. Satan! God, Dr. Satan! Which he still gets asked to do it.
He's so excited about it. He loves it. He's just like, yes, that was like the best thing ever. So everyone else is just ready to get the F out of here.
But they end up getting a map from Captain Spaulding to go and see about Dr. Satan.
The girls don't want to, but the boys kind of talk them into it.
Right. So they mosey along, and they come across a hitchhiker, right?
Yeah.
Kind of cute hitchhiker sharing.
We meet baby.
Yeah,
Moon Fry or
whatever the hell you want to call her.
Firefly.
But they picked her hot little ass up and threw her in the car, and she's an interesting character. I kind of liked her. It was a good introduction to her. The car ends up getting the tire shot out by someone on the side of the road. Surprise, surprise. And that's when they have to get a tow, and so. What's her face and Dwight Schrute go up to go and get the guy to go get the tow, and they come back and get the tow, and they go back to the house, and that's when all hell breaks. So they start finding more and more characters in this fucking house. The old lady, the fucking.
I mean, right off the bat, let's be honest, she's a wackadoo. And everyone senses that she's a fucking weirdo.
And she's also hitting on Dwight. I forgot about that. She's hitting on both of them, isn't she?
When he goes back to the house to get the tow, the front of their house...
Yeah, if that didn't tell you, they're walking into a fun house of terror.
When I was a kid, I used to take my dolls, take their heads off, and I used to just stick them on the wall.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, that's not the beginnings of a homicidal maniac, but okay. So everybody's at the house now. And now we start.
What's your favorite part? My favorite part of that is when she wants to wear his glasses, and she's dipping. That ain't the only thing that's tasty
here.
Yeah.
And he just has no idea what to do with that.
She's just like, whoop-de fucking do, everyone's here now.
Everyone's here, hooray.
And she was like, fuck, who fucking cares, you know? Like, I'm not gonna get my.
So then all of a sudden it's showtime. Right?
Well, they sit around the table.
That's boring, though. It's basically...
They wear masks. You get to meet Tiny for the first time.
But it's basically we're all leading
Grandpa.
We're leading up to this point where they put on a show.
Yes.
And
yes.
This show is fucking just right out of fucking Psychoville. Like, the old man going up and telling dirty jokes, making everybody hella uncomfortable. Making the ladies uncomfortable.
Well, we also meet Otis.
Otis,
and
yes. They pop in and out on him.
And he's telling him, Dr. Satan's real, and, the devil's real, and you found him, and...
Yeah, after everything.
And obviously he's a sick serial killer. He's got captive women upstairs, and he's torturing them, and
right.
So is his sister, and she is getting ready for the performance.
Right, exactly. So, so they go through the performance. It dies out on her performance, which she's fucking basically giving lap dances to the dudes, and the chicks are like, one of the girlfriends like, fuck that, pushes her over, get the fuck off him, you fucking slut, and she basically like Sherry Moon wanted to get up and stab the bitch. Like that's.
She said, "What are you gonna do? I'm gonna cut your fucking tits off."
But then
shove them down your fucking throat.
But then the dude comes in. He's like, "Your car is ready."
So she says, "I think you better leave."
Yeah, you should probably go.
So they go to leave, and they quickly are.
They can't get out because they got to go
open
the gate. They got to open the gate. So he gets out to open the gate, and he gets clubbed in the fucking head.
Yep.
And then one of the scarecrows that was outside was Otis. And so Otis hops down, pounds on the car.
They're not leaving.
They're not going nowhere. So
quickly they dispatch the boys, then they take the girls.
So, yeah.
And we start to see the brutal, psychotic,
bullshit
sadistic
that they're going to be going
shit through. That the family, we'll call them, I don't know.
Dysfunctional, but yeah. Very dysfunctional. So yeah, they some of them wake up in various parts of the house. Mm-hmm. Fucking Chris Hardwick's character fucking getting picked on by Sherry Moon, asking him fucking to guess her favorite, what was it, favorite?
Hollywood star.
Hollywood star, that's what it was.
Yeah.
And he was wrong, and she ends up taking his fucking scalp off, which is fucking brutal.
We get horrific flashbacks of all the torture they've
inflicted.
Yeah. And Dwight's character...
Dwight Schrute's character is Fish Boy, you know.
He's dead.
Mental block.
Yeah, he's dead.
Otis
and
made an art piece out of him, and...
It cured his mental block.
He just was not able to create. And now he can create.
Yes.
Which is fucking scary. So, in all of the while this is happening, one of the girls' dads is a former cop and is trying to find her and is calling all the local authorities.
They've been missing now.
Mm-hmm. So they're calling the local authorities to get involved, and that's when we meet Dilbert Dumbutt and fucking the other cop. And they're
investigate.
Yes, to go and investigate. And so they go to Captain Spaulding's first, and Spaulding's not giving him anything. Says I gave him a map and sent him to go get lost. So he says, draw me that map and show me where they went. So they follow the map, of course, to the Psycho House, which they search. The one goes into the house to talk to the old lady.
Well, first they find the car on the back roads, the smashed up car. They open the trunk, they find a dead body.
Right.
One of the missing cheerleaders that have been killed and slashed in Trick or Treat. Yeah, it's also Halloween, we should say. So, yeah. And then they're gonna go back to the house, but they wait for the father of one of the girls. He wants to come too.
Yeah, so they show up, and so the other Dilbert Dumbutt and the dad go around the back, and the other one goes into the house to talk to what is the old lady, the mom. Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy?
So goes in, talks to her. They're in the back, and they hear something. They go to a shed, open it up, and there's all the girls. They're fucking just tied up. Sorry, they're tied up. Bad shit's going on in that shed, and the Dilbert Dumbutt dude tries to call inside, but by the time he's calling in, Grandma's already got the gun on him. The guy that was sitting inside shoots him. He's dead. And then
one cop dead inside. Two cops dead outside.
And then now Otis is coming out to deal with those two. Otis kills the dad. The dad was trying to run somewhere. I don't know what the fuck he was doing, but he got shot in the back. And then Dilbert Dumbutt shot in the head. Dunzo.
Yeah.
And there's no help coming. So now everybody's really fucked.
Yeah. So we've got one dead, possibly two of the kids. The girls are still alive, but barely.
Right.
And then we get to meet your daddy.
Yes. So Otis, in a tasteful Hannibal way, cuts off the
guy's
face, cuts the guy's face in his little suit. And
a daddy suit of the girl's father.
I'm the one that tells you better. Who's your daddy?
I'm the one that beats you when you're bad.
Who's your daddy?
Who's your daddy? I'm the one that brings the Christmas candy. Who's your daddy?
I don't want Christmas candy from you.
And yes, it's really fucking creepy. it's give Daddy a kiss, and she's
right
tied up.
And he puts his tongue right through his mouth, and I was just like, oh, so foul.
And she's like, Daddy? Yeah. And she, like, it's just realizing that this is her fucking father's face.
He takes it, come give me Daddy some sugar.
So now they're going to complete a ritual for Dr. Satan, and this is where he says, Dr. Satan is real.
Yeah, you
found the boogeyman.
Yeah. I'm gonna have you meet the old bastard. So,
everyone dresses up, and you see the parade to the well, or what?
Yeah, just
the entrance of the lair of 1,000 corpses.
The catacombs. Yeah, the catacombs of 1,000 corpses. So
it's two victims now that are going down into the catacombs. One victim runs, run rabbit, run rabbit, and she's killed.
Sherry Moon comes up and just dispatches her.
She chases her, and shoo said the rabbit, or said the maiden. Yeah. Right. And then I like to say this is the fucking best part of the movie. They go down.
They go down, they put him down in the hole, and then they puts that little recorder on, and that wakes up the blue-eyed White Walkers they look like from fucking Game of Thrones. I don't know what
it wakes up all the undead or half dead, or
so they break open the coffin, drag out Chris Hardwick. He's gone. Bye. We're not gonna worry about him. He's gone. And then they try to go after her, but they like stop after they have Chris for some reason.
Well, because he wanted to meet Dr. Satan.
Oh, right.
So they took him to meet Dr. Satan, and they left the female.
Right.
I'm sure she was food for somebody, they thought.
So she's wandering around down there now, and fucking some other beings come out and take her fucking rabbit outfit. So now she's just in fucking whatever.
This little outfit. Baby doll outfit that she was put in.
And she finally finds Dr. Satan, Slayer. Fucking, there's a bunch of dudes that are fucked up.
Wait, they open that door, and
there's a freak that opens the door. Yeah,
the bone chandelier and the crazy, that shit just was like awesome. It was like the catacombs, just bones lining the walls. I mean, you have to see it. You just have to see it to understand how really cool that shot is of her walking in.
And it was funny to learn later that that was a part that they didn't know what to do with. They had no idea what to do with this catacomb part down there. All of that was slopped together. The whole Dr. Satan, the end of the movie was just slopped together. Come to find out later. And it's funny because it does kind of come off a little weak, the ending, just a little bit. Just because I was just like, oh,
oh, okay. What were you gonna say? I was gonna say, well, you think she's gonna survive?
Yeah, you think she's gonna get away, and she's walking down the road, and then fucking she. Yeah.
I'm like, please don't skip over the best part.
Go ahead. Well, you go.
Dr. Satan. She meets Dr. Satan. Her friend is having brain surgery by Dr. Satan.
He's talking too, and I can't understand a lot.
That's the part I get so frustrated because he is speaking, and I cannot. I've watched this movie now at least a dozen times. I still have no idea what he's saying, so we need to look that up right now because I have to know. And I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, so we'll know, but you won't know unless you watch. So she runs. She sees this. She runs. A sick, crazy, demented freak, red freak thing comes after her, trying to kill her, and creates a cave-in the catacombs. And she crawls out of the dirt. She looks, for better words, dead, half dead, covered in blood.
Way dead. Yeah, she's fucking
And lo and behold, who's coming with the Cadillac? Who's coming around the corner with the Cadillac?
It's
Captain Spaulding. Fuck your mama.
Yeah.
Fuck your sister. Fuck your grandma. Most of all, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Tutti fucking fruity.
That's the next one. Hold
on. He's like, good Lord, girl, what's happened to you? She gets in, and I need a doctor, and we'll get you a doctor, honey. Don't worry. We'll get you a doctor. And she passes out. And last scene that you see is literally Otis jumping out from the back seat.
Yeah.
She's saying, I got away. And then he jumps out and, which you presume stabs her, but it looks like she just got drugged back to Dr. Satan's lair, and she herself wakes up in Dr. Satan's chair.
Dr. Satan's chair. Just hearing...
Yeah. And it's like, it's so not typical of a horror movie where you've got the final girl. You think you've got the final girl. You think she's going to be a survivor.
Right.
But she's so close. She's just so goddamn close. It's frustrating. I
can't see anything that says exactly what he was saying. I might have to, you know what, we might have to put it on and like put the fucking, I didn't think about it and put the captions on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10.
This one got I'm going to say a 7 for me as well.
I'm going to give it an 8 because it is one of my favorite. It's just so gross in just the right way. It's so demented and depraved in just the right way.
Totally different, too. It's totally different.
It's not like pure torture porn. It's not pure slasher. It's just a mix, you know? It's like a mix of Texas Chainsaw and Saw and Psycho and just so many things.
And it kicked off all the other movies, too. And it gave you 3 very unique characters that everybody ended up falling in love with. Everybody loves Sid Haig's
and you know, he always puts his wife.
Oh yeah, she's in
hot. His movies,
she's always skimpily dressed because she has a great body and she should show it. And he's like, "Fuck yeah, you should show it. Why wouldn't you?" I'm damn proud of that. You know?
Yeah. Well, so that was day 6, 7, 8, and today is day 9 of the 31 days. Excuse me. So tomorrow is Evil Dead.
Yes.
And so we're going to try to do another group of movie review. Will probably be Evil Dead. Day 11 is Night of the Living Dead. Day 12 is Exorcism of Emily Rose. Then we have The Visit and The Exorcist.
Right.
That gets us up to 2 weeks in to October. Can you guys believe it?
Yeah, time's just like totally flying this
Woo!
month. So before you know it'll be Halloween.
I hope you guys will check back. I'm going to post on my Instagram that, you know, we're going to put these out in a little more of a group.
Yeah, in a different
review.
Format.
So hit like, review, subscribe.
Enjoy the ride. If you haven't seen any of these movies yet, you should do yourself a favor and go watch them. Like, even if you're like, I don't like movies, like, just put it on. I guarantee you'll love all of them.
Even if you don't want to watch the YouTube channel, follow along with our 31 days. Follow along with the list. We are reworking the list just a little bit, but we are going to tell you guys what movies we're replacing what movies with.
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately, we're going to revise the list, and
there's 2
so far. Unfortunately.
There's 2. Only 2 right now.
There's 2 right now, but I kind of feel like there might be a 3rd.
Correct.
Yeah.
That can always change.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you.